Hello dear friends, welcome back to High Point again. In this video we are going to learn about one of the most important prose work of the Puritan age known as Leviathan, which was written by Thomas Hobbes in the year 1651. So before going into the main session of the video, let me tell you this: if you have not yet subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon so that you get a notification whenever we upload a video in here, and also follow me on Instagram as well as visit my website www.highpoint.in. There you'll get immense amount of materials for your NTA UGC NET JRF English Language and Literature paper 2. Have the free trial and see whatever we have provided. If you wanted to join our course as a student, you can obviously join it from the website itself. You'll get 2 free bonuses of personalized study guideline and free weekly test going on every Saturdays. Okay, so if you want to know anything more related to the course or the subject matters and the topics that we are discussing, you can WhatsApp me or call me in this number or use the Instagram ID to reach out to me. Okay, moving on about Leviathan. Leviathan was written by Thomas Hobbes, who lived from 1588 to 1679. He was an English philosopher and best known for his work on political philosophy. So he wrote many works on political philosophy, one of the founders of modern political philosophy and political science, and he contributed to history, geometry, physics of ages, theology, ethics, and general philosophy. His notable works are De Live, published in 1642, and De Corpore in 1655, and Leviathan in the year 1651. Leviathan is more important, so please remember the publication date, publication year of Leviathan, 1651. His writings were designed to support an absolute government, and in Hobbes' intention, this meant absolute monarchy. See, England was undergoing a tremendous change. It never experienced a Commonwealth government. In the Puritan age, for the first time, England was experiencing a Commonwealth government other than monarchy. Okay, so far they had monarchy. Different kings were coming into the power, and they had their own rules and their own ways to rule over the country. But when it came to Commonwealth, it is something different, right? So usually political thinkers and philosophers and even writers, they publish their opinion about what kind of government that England should have and who can bring more prosperity to England. So Thomas Hobbes says his opinion that he sided with the monarchy. So he kind of designed an absolute government, and in Thomas Hobbes' intention or in idea, he says that absolute monarchy is a absolute government, and that is which is needed for England, and that will be more resulting in England's future. He was a royalist, of course, supported royal prerogatives. Now let's see about Leviathan. There is another title for Leviathan: the matter, frame, and power of Commonwealth, ecclesiastical and civil. So this is the another title for Leviathan, and the title derived from biblical Leviathan. So there is a Leviathan in Bible. It's a sea monster rising from the sea, and Hobbes took Leviathan from the Bible. The title he got from Bible, often compared to Machiavelli's The Prince and its Western classic. So this work, Leviathan, is always and often compared to Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. So Machiavellian characters, that phrase is quite famous. It's a character who does everything and anything and dare to do anything to achieve a certain position or social hike or money or wealth from people. Okay, so that kind of character is Machiavellian character. We have seen so far when we discussed various plays and works, we have seen some Machiavellian characters. If you remember anyone, please mention that in the comment section. Okay, and Leviathan was written during the Civil War. English Civil War happened in the year 1642-1651. Okay, the books argue for a social contract and a rule by an absolute sovereign. So he says that this commonwealth is nothing, it is useless. Actually, England should be ruled by an absolute sovereign that can bring prosperity into prosperity, order, and justice among the people inside the country. This notion emerged out of the politically unstable years after the Civil War. So he has witnessed that, see, after Civil War or during Civil War, there is a politically unstable year. There is a politically unstable period that will happen in every other country. If a political war, a civil war happens, then there will be unstable years that will be followed by the war or during the war. So he says that because of this instability, it actually retarded the growth and all. So it brings confusion. So there is no need of that. It is better that we have an absolute sovereign or power here. Hobbes' materialistic philosophy was based upon the mechanistic view of the universe, holding that all phenomena was explainable purely in terms of matter and motion, and rejecting concepts such as spirit and soul. So he basically rejected any other superficial beliefs, and he says that everything can be explainable, rationally explainable. For being an atheist, he was known as monster of Malmesbury. So he was an atheist and he was known as monster of Malmesbury and the bugbear of the nation. So these were the titles, unofficial titles given to Thomas Hobbes for being an atheist. Now, moving on, Hobbes' works were burned at Oxford, for he's an atheist, so his books were burned at Oxford. Hobbes' books also challenged the very basis of philosophical and political knowledge. Leviathan argues that civil peace and social unity are best achieved by establishment of a commonwealth through social contract. Okay. Introduction. In the introduction itself, he describes the commonwealth as an artificial person and a body politic that mimics the human body. So it doesn't mean the commonwealth that was prevalent during that time. Okay, commonwealth means the government. So he describes a kind of government or a justice or a body that will function to bring about order and justice and peace into the society. So that body is an artificial person that is represented and it described as an artificial person and a body politic that mimics the human body. So this artificial person will mimic the human body, a gigantic human form built out of the bodies of its citizens. And the sovereign has its head. A giant crowned figure is seen emerging from the landscape, clutching a sword and a crozier. So there is a sword and a crozier in its hands, and the giant is emerging from the sea and coming towards the landscape, and it is crowned, and the body has its citizen's head facing outward. The face is looking outward from the body with a range of expressions. There were a range, different and varied kind of expressions in the faces of that outward looking faces, and this face is all over the body, and this body of the artificial person is comprised of the faces of the outward looking citizens. Leviathan, the word derived from the Hebrew, the sea monster. So Leviathan basically means sea monster. Leviathan divided into 4 books: of men, of commonwealth, of a Christian commonwealth, and of the kingdom of darkness. So these are the 4 divisions that Hobbes has given to the work Leviathan. Book 1. What are the things that contained in these 4 books? Book 1 begins first book by arguing that every aspect of human nature can be deduced from materialistic principles. So he is an atheist, so he will mainly talk about materialism, atheism, rationalism. Okay, so in the beginning itself, he argues that every aspect, so take whatever aspect that you can actually perceive directly or indirectly, all these aspects of human nature can be deduced from materialistic principles. Hobbes depicts the natural condition of mankind as inherently violent and awash with fear. So this is the inherent nature of human being. Every other human being or all over the world, human beings, the natural condition of human beings is inherently violent. So they are inherently violent and awash with fear. Since they have some rules and regulations to live, they have a culture to live, they have certain restrictions that they live as a community. That's why they don't show this inherent violence and inherent fear. The state of nature is the war of every man against every man, in which people constantly seek to destroy one another. So it's like, they are inherently violent. If the state of nature, what is the state of nature of human beings? It will be war of every man against every man, and people will be constantly seek to destroy each other, since they are inherently violent and they are awash with fear, because they have the fear that the other person can harm. Everyone's fear is that, and also they are inherently violent to themselves and to others. Why we are not showing like this, showing us as the inherent violence and the fear that we have inside us? Because we have a certain restrictions, we live as a community, we have a certain culture and norms to follow, and this gets subdued in that course of time. This state is too horrible that human beings naturally seek peace, and the best way to achieve peace is to construct a Leviathan through social construct. So since mankind is inherently violent and abashed with fear, so this is a horrible nature of human being. Naturally, human beings as a rational being seek peace. The best way to seek peace and live in a peaceful condition and be inside a community in a peaceful way is to construct the Leviathan, is to construct a government of absolute power through social contract. There ends book 1. Now book 2. Book 2 describes the process of erecting the Leviathan. So he says what is the importance of Leviathan and what is the need of Leviathan in book 1. In book 2 he says how you can erect or build or bring about a Leviathan, and outlines the right of sovereign and subjects and imagines the Leviathan and the civil mechanics of the Commonwealth. So how this Leviathan will function, what are the rights of the sovereign, and he imagines the mechanics of this legislative and civil mechanics when you build a Leviathan as a Commonwealth. Now, concerns about the compatibility of the Christian doctrine with the Hobbesian philosophy and the religious system of the Leviathan. So, it's about the compatibility of the Christian doctrine, how far Christian doctrines can go along with the Leviathan, his concepts of Leviathan, and the Hobbesian philosophy and religious system of the Leviathan. So how Leviathan, inside Leviathan, how religious system will carry it out. So those things are discussed in book 3. In book 4, it engages in debunking false religious beliefs and arguing that the political implementation of the Leviathanic state is necessary to achieve a secure Christian Commonwealth. So even though he is an atheist, he talks about a Christian Commonwealth. So he says that it is necessary that you implement Leviathanic state in order to achieve a secure Christian Commonwealth. And he also says about false religious beliefs and debunk those false religious beliefs, and also argue about the political implementation of Leviathan in order to achieve a secure Christian Commonwealth. So these are the plan that he makes about in these 4 books inside the work. Now let's see some themes related to the work: materialism, essentialism, contractarianism, utilitarianism, and egoism. So these are the major themes that you can find. If you want the details of these themes, you can comment that below, or you can visit my website as well. Now that's all about Leviathan. I hope this was clear. At least you got some idea about Leviathan. If you have any suggestions, queries and questions related to the video or the quality of the video or the details that we are sharing in here, you can mention all of that in the comment section. Do go and visit my website, and also follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and press the like button if you liked this video. And yeah, that's all about it. Meet you in the next video session. Until then, stay tuned to High Point, and thanks for watching this video. Tata, bye bye.